resolution?
So moved.
The move by Mr. Terzinski.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wogan. Any discussion on this issue? Mr. Naylor.
I just had one question maybe for Jennifer regarding the request as a part of the expenditure of these funds, the request to waive bidding on the two acquisitions that are proposed as a part of this funding, one being the roof repairs and the other being the fire alarm system. And I was just wondering what is so unique about these couple items that Pat would like to waive the competitive bidding on this item.
I think the executive director
on that.
of the theater should respond to that.
In response to that, the roof is actually not a repair, it's a complete replacement of the current auditorium roof. Is a huge barrel roof, is about 30 years old, and due to the uniqueness of the historic building, we feel it's necessary to be very careful about who we choose for that project. Same thing for the fire alarm system. We've talked to multiple contractors, and for everyone that's been inside the theater, you know that almost 100% of the surfaces are plaster, and we're very concerned about protecting the historical integrity and the aesthetics of the building, and we want to make sure that we get the correct people in there that have the experience working with historic buildings to do that properly.
Are there will you have two bids for each as a minimum, or is it just going to be a purchase order granted, or I guess how are these people selected anyway? How are they knowing that one is more qualified than the other, particularly a roofer?
Our board of directors has internal policies to be able, for any projects that we do for the building, to be able to evaluate and pick out who is going to be the most appropriate contractor for the historic building.
But I guess, is that a local contractor or some already identified contractor, or are you just going to go to them? Or
we definitely prefer to go local if we can. Unfortunately, with a lot of the projects within the building, we have to go within our region or across the country to find a specialist that can do some of the projects that we do at the theater. We are hoping with both of these projects we can choose local contractors or within our region.
I guess, I don't know, maybe the city manager is going to I don't quite
Well, I was going to ask
understand.
Alex, I seem to recall in previous years a similar situation with some of the monies that the city granted the theater for certain specialized work. Did not the council previously agree on waiving bids in some instances?
Yeah.
I seem to recall that.
The theater has 3 different roof areas. 2 of the 3 roofs have already been replaced. Those sections were also waived as well, so we could make sure that we could get the contractor that, again, was going to protect the historical integrity of the building. And we would like to potentially go with that same contractor who's already done the work with the building, has experience with the building, that the council has allowed us to do that in the past.
I guess I still don't quite understand the concern for the roofer in such a type of work that is typically competitively bid, and you could qualify them after the bids as well as pre-qualifying them and just giving it to one person. I would like to see at least a minimum of a couple numbers solicited from a couple qualified contractors to make certain that you are getting the best dollar or the best job for the dollar expended on it. Well, the same thing is true with the fire alarm system.
Yeah, we do have, our board of directors do have internal policies that for all projects that we require ourselves to get at least 3 different estimates for a project. But within that, some projects we can't even get 3 bids that, for the specialty of the project. For instance, plaster work that we've done in the past. There's about 2 companies around the country that do work in historical theaters and historical churches, and so our board takes special consideration in those matters. But we definitely discuss that. We want to make sure that we have the best contractor for the job, and we also want to make sure that we are able to spread the dollars as far as we can and get as much work done on the theater as we can. And we greatly appreciate the support of the city so that we can do those repairs to this historic building.
I would maybe ask that maybe the city manager would monitor that and report, I guess, if possible, in that process.